So you can either use this, or I also have this Trader Joe's bag, or any paper bag really, and you can cut up one side of it. A little bit smaller than 11 and a half by 16, but it will work. This is also good. Another option is cardboard box. Now this box is a little hard to cut, but you can. I do like cardboard boxes. Okay, so here are 3 different options that you could use for your surfaces. Okay, so you can either use this, or use this, or use this. Choose one. If you choose these, I kind of like this because it has a brown background, so you already kind of have a background color, versus the white. The white, then you're gonna have to cover with stuff.
So you have those options between the recycled paper or cardboard or white paper. I'm going to choose the white piece of paper, even though I like the recycled or cardboard better, because I think that maybe most of you might have white paper at home.
Some of the tools that you need are scissors, pencil, an eraser, and maybe a sharpener. Optional materials, crayon, any kind of coloring, and rulers. Okay, now normally for your collage you also need some kind of glue. Mine is super big. Or if you don't have glue, you can use tape. If you don't have tape, you can just do without all of it. Okay, we're gonna try to do it without it.
Next thing you want to do is take out all the trash that you have collected and put it in front of you to kind of get an idea of what you have.
Just start by cutting out some of the things just that stand out. So I really like this design right here, so I'm going to cut that.
After cutting it, I realized that it was really messy, so I had to go grab a paper towel and wipe down the chips off of the bag. I recommend you clean everything that you have collected before starting doing the cutting process. So I decided that I was going to cut it around some of these shapes that I found on the bag of potato chips, but to be honest, I'm always lost a little bit when I'm doing a collage. So sometimes I like to draw something and fill it in with cutouts, but this time I decided to start cutting out some of the things that were interesting to me and then start gluing them down. And it really helped because when I started cutting that pattern, especially the little what I'm cutting right now, the little basket or whatever container where the potato chips are in, that's when I kind of got the idea of what I wanted to do.
All right, so that's that. And then I had this idea of drawing a head that's coming out of this, like a half head. So I want to draw this kind of head that's coming out, and maybe like eyes and eyebrow. Now I'm not going to worry too much about it looking like mine, like me, but I kind of like this idea of peeking through because I feel like these days I want to just hide. Okay, so that's kind of the general design, and then I might do some things coming out of there. So now I'm going to go back, since I kind of had that idea. That's going to help me with cutting some more materials. That's just how I'm going to do it. I don't know, there are some people who are like really good at this collage stuff. I am not. I don't know what to do with it.
So starting to cut up some colors now and some letters and some words. So I'm categorizing the things that I find in the advertisements by color. So right here I'm cutting some red, and before that I cut up some letters and some words that I saw, and I stacked them up. And then now I'm moving on. I decided I'm going to do the colors in the color wheel. So now I saw some greens and blues, and I am organizing them by the different colors. So that way what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those in my background and have a colorful background.
And also I want some browns because I want to do my hair brown. So I'm going to do some black. Okay, I'm just gonna start just putting some color in the background. I want you to try to do the color wheel in the background. Now I'm gonna put these, if you don't have glue, I'm gonna show you can use tape. The tape. Alright, and put tape underneath it and then tape it down. If you don't have anything, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to make sure that these are all there, but you can just literally put them on top of each other.
So you can literally stack the pieces of paper on top of each other in the background. You just have to be careful, because if you move it accidentally or like breathe too hard, it might all fly away. So if you have glue, it's better to glue it. If not, you can just stack them on top. If you don't have any specific colors, you can take out your crayons or your markers or whatever you have that you can color with, even paint, and you can make kind of your own color page. So right here I'm making some brownish, blackish brown to use for the hair and the eyebrows.
Well, like I said, I don't like to have those kind of empty spaces, but I think I want to have like just one solid color in the rest of this. Now, I can use my Trader Joe's bag that I ended up not using for my background, and this is why, again, another color it's nice to use so you don't have like a lot of empty white spaces in the background. Or I can use my aluminum foil, or I can use just something that's just one color background that's not white.
So I'm gonna fast forward this part, and all I'm doing over here is putting everything that I have cut up, the hair, the background colors, and everything, and I'm positioning it in place. Even if you were to glue everything down, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have set up everything and you have positioned everything the way that you wanted. And then once you have it all set up, then you can start gluing it down.
And now the eyes. For the eyes, you can either, again, take your own piece of paper. I'm going to move this to the side carefully. And you can draw some eyes, which is what I'm going to do for one of them so you can see. You can make the eyes any shape that you want. So now I'm going to cut out my drawing and I'm going to put it on there. So this is what I meant by using your own drawing in your collage. Now, if you have a magazine or something, you can find eyes in there and use those eyes.
After experimenting with the eyes I found in a magazine, I decided I didn't really like it. So I went back to the advertisement pages and I found some colors that I liked for the eyes. I did kind of a background, like a off-white for the background. And then I found some brownish green in the produce section of the advertisement. And I cut those up and I put it on top of the white. And that's how I ended up making those eyes. After positioning the eyes, I played around with the eyebrows a little bit to see what expression I wanted the face to have, and found another piece of trash that I had collected and cut it up and made it into a nose. Okay, I've cleaned up my area a little bit and now I can start figuring out what I want to put in there as far as some writing. I just want to write how I feel, and I feel tired. So I'm going to start looking for letters that could spell out what I'm feeling. When you're looking for letters, you might not always find them, so you might have to be creative. Like if you find if you're looking for an M but you find a W, you can always turn the W inside out. For my tired, I used the upside down exclamation point for the I. I also put how I want to feel. I want to be happy and free of this quarantine, so I put some of those as well in there. Once I finished my lettering, then I decided I was going to glue everything down. But again, if you don't have glue, you can skip this step. For your collage, now I made my collage pretty elaborate and I put a lot of things in it. You don't necessarily need this much things. You can just do a solid background and then just do a lot of writing with the cut up letters, or just a solid background and maybe some people in there. You can decide how you want it. I made mine, again, a little bit more detailed, but you don't have to do it this way. To glue it down, you can use Elmer's glue or you can use a glue stick. If you're going to use Elmer's glue, just pour a little bit in some container. I just poured some on some aluminum foil, or like you can do it on a piece of paper, and then use a paintbrush or your hands, your finger, to put on the glue. Don't just dump the glue onto the paper, then you're going to get too much glue and it won't dry. So as you can see here, I'm just getting some glue from the foil and I'm putting it on there and just pouring more into the foil before I put it on my paper. That is the best way to put glue on, so you can control how you do it. Okay, so this video is only about 13 to 14 minutes long, but in reality it actually took me about an hour and a half with the gluing. The gluing took a long time to do this. So it might take you 1 or 2 days to do this, so it's better if you put it somewhere where you can nobody can touch it and it will stay safe, and you can go back to it if you need to. Start early so you can finish on time.